Who am I? That's a deep question. I think what really defines me is a sense of just taking everything that you can see as an opportunity.
I knew that the future is going to be amazing for him.
Being happy. And being happy for me means making the other people happy. You can't always make everyone, but seeing a couple people that you really help out along the way is something that just makes me feel like I did something I can be proud of. I want to be that kind of person that can jump around different fields and be like, tomorrow I'm going to be a lawyer, the next day an astronaut. And that's really something I find kind of fun.
It was a hard process to get to here, but it was worth it. Like, ever since we got here, they're flourishing.
Originally, I came from Israel. I moved to Canada about 2 years ago. And most of my childhood revolved around attending a private Scottish school, which is where I learned my English. And during that time, I got to really learn a lot about international perspectives. Ooh, a passion. I have quite a few passions, actually. I think my biggest passion, or at least the one that I've developed into more of an everyday kind of thing, is my passion for technology. So I currently run a technology-based business, and it really started as a bit of a passion project of I want to get better at coding. And since then, I discovered that I like coding for purpose, having some kind of impact on the world, and really using my knowledge to solve complex issues. And that's kind of how I started Loki Tech, which is my current business, which essentially is trying to help local businesses solve their complex issues with technology.
All the process coming here to Canada, all the immigration process that took almost 6 years. Yeah, it was nerve-wracking. Like, finally, when we got the approval, COVID hit. And all the flights got canceled, and we couldn't come here for 2 years.
I got to really learn a lot about how different people see the world, and it really defined how I see the world from multiple different perspectives, rather than having a closed-minded opinion of things. It really defined how I view new people that I meet and new ideas that come to me, and it really helps me feel more as a flexible person. Cold, very cold. I had the idea of like people wearing like 3 layers of coats, walking around in the snow. And there was also the stereotype that everyone was nice, which when we moved here, we discovered that 99% of people are nice. But there is still like the variety of people. Not everyone is the same as the stereotype you see on the other side of the world. You really get to see that people are people. I did a project called the Schizophrenia Software Solution for the Science Fair in Canada this year, 2024. And essentially the idea of the project was, how can I help solve some issue related to schizophrenia? I discovered that there is a type of psychiatric interview that is really not helping people get the treatment they need as soon as possible. It's essentially a privatized psychiatric interview that is pretty much required for both developing drugs to combat schizophrenia and for doing preliminary treatment. So I thought, okay, well, if there's this issue of supply and demand, we don't have enough psychiatrists to actually do the interview, could I maybe automate the interview? And that's what led me to the Schizophrenia Software Solution, which was essentially using my knowledge of AI and technology with combination of psychiatrists' research online and basically combining it into basically an AI that is trained to basically be a psychiatrist and apply the psychiatric interview. Well, personally, I really have an awareness of how important mental health is to people all over the world. Overall, it's just a pain both to get started and to continue on until you really have a set routine. And I find that the hardest part is really getting started. So when I saw that schizophrenic patients are having this problem, and they're really the people that need it the most, I thought, this is just not right. is there something I can do about it?
Complicated because he's charming, of course. He's very stubborn, which is good. I think if he wasn't that stubborn, he wouldn't have achieved what he's achieving. Sometimes he's modest, he's like, I don't think I'll win and I don't think it's good enough. He's very perfectionist.
I think the best part of a business is doing something that you really care about. It's a bit of both, having the fun but also the impact. I've been involved in my school's climate action team and the city of Cornwall's youth for climate action team. I think that people my age should be involved more. It's us that can create a change. I find that I can be a leader in certain contexts. I think what I really am is someone who can step up to be a leader if it's needed, or someone that can stay in the back and help out where I can. I think anyone has the potential to do pretty much everything I did. It's just that I happened to have the idea one day. I think I'm just a guy that had a couple of good ideas and ended up here.
He applied for lots of scholarships and he actually got accepted to some other universities, but he wanted Queens of all the universities, so he put all his efforts into there. And eventually, hard work, of course, and lots of assignments and interviews. And eventually he got the prestige scholarship. He's the 1% of the students who got these scholarships.
The gifted sticker really only serves to separate people from everyone else. Being gifted is essentially just a label. I find that the gifted sticker isn't really something that benefits most people, other than give kids an overinflated sense of ego that they carry on for the rest of their lives. And when it comes to post-secondary education, there is no longer really a gifted sticker. When you get to that point, you're on the same playing field as everyone else. And if you end up not doing as well as them, then you have insecurities. Am I really gifted? What does this even mean? Why can't I match up to everyone else? And it creates a whole lot of issues later on. So I think it's really not effective and not appropriate in our society.
It's all him. He put all the work and did put all the effort, and yeah, I'm not surprised. I always knew that ever since he was a little kid, I knew that Dolev is destined for big things in his future. He was super smart ever since he was a little kid, and I knew that the future is going to be amazing for him, when he grows up, and whatever he chooses to do, he can do. If he puts his mind into it, he can do it. He can achieve everything, and he's proving it.
I think intelligence comes down to the desire to know more or the desire to act upon what you know. Intelligence is really something that's not something you're born with. I don't really believe that IQ has something to do with your intelligence. I believe that if you consider intelligence as flexible, something you can build up, you can go down, and you can go all around with it, intelligence is something that you build throughout your lifetime. Science fair, we have this tradition, which is essentially a really big dance party at the end of the week. And every year, I've been there twice so far, and that's really the thing that set it apart from pretty much all of the other experiences I've done. It's getting to know people for a week, and then you don't know them for that long, but at the end of the week, there were so many people that I could walk up to in that party and be like, I know you, you're awesome.
Yeah, we can see the results. So yeah, it was hard, but it was worth every second of it.
My idol would be my mom, because my mom is essentially the figure of resilience and never giving up and being the strongest person you can imagine, no matter the scenario. Taking the courage to basically jump ship from your country and move literally across the globe is something that very little people can really say they have the confidence to do. And she had no fear. She was smiling the whole flight over. She was like, I did it. We are here. And it was just inspiring to see someone that just left their whole life behind and was like, we're starting over. Welcome aboard. And I think it's something that really inspires me. I like to think that I am just the average 17-year-old that tries to do as much as he can whenever he gets the opportunity. I think what really defines me is a sense of just taking everything that you can see as an opportunity. And if you don't find one, just try to make your own. I think I'm a bit of an opportunist kind of person, but not in like the weird sense, in the sense of taking everything you can get and making the best out of it.
To do whatever they want and just be happy about whatever they do.
It was really something that I strive to live up to every day, having the same sense of just like, life is awesome. I cannot be happier right now. It's really a sense of beauty in life that I really appreciate.
Back a year ago.